So today I'm here with episode 1 of my F1 Manager 24 Create a Team Career mode. And this is a brand new mode, so I'm really excited to get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is set our team name. Okay, well I was going to be Bill of Formula 1 Racing, but there's not enough characters and I can't just be Bill of Formula 1 RA. So I'm going to be Bill of F1 Racing instead. And I'm going to create my own story with this team completely from scratch. I'm going to go for everything on the lowest tier, lowest bank balance, lowest facilities and lowest car performance. And going into the facilities, I've got a couple of points to spend, so I can distribute them out. I don't know if I actually have to spend these, but I'm going to anyway. So I think I'll have everything on level 1 at least. Then I'm going to put my wind tunnel to level 2 because I feel like improving aero will be a big thing and the wind tunnel is very important for that. Then I've got a couple of levels to put into operation facilities as well. Slightly tempted to put both points in the memorabilia room for all the memorabilia we don't have yet. But instead, I'm going to put one in the weather center to hopefully give us a bit of a better forecast during races and make the most of strategy. And I'm going to put one in the hospitality area to hopefully help with relations with sponsors and that sort of stuff as well. And now I'm into choosing all my staff. So I'm definitely going to want to change my drivers. I definitely don't want Sophia Flörsch, 58 rated. Flörsch? However you say her name. Well, just as a test, I put in Max Verstappen in my number 1 car and it's let me. I mean, I'm not going to continue forward with him, but I wonder what would happen if I tried. So I think I'm going to go for a balance of youth and experience here for my drivers. All the ones that are any good in this bottom category all cost like 2 million a year. And then there's some that cost 2 million a year in this category above anyway. So I might as well just go for one of these. And I think I'm going to go for my first driver is Frederick Vesti. It was between him and Awasa, but Vesti's a little younger, better pace, better racecraft. Just one less on, I think that's concentration, I guess. But Vesti will be my first driver. And then for my second driver, I'm actually going to go for Stoffel Van Dorn. Maybe a little bit of an out there choice, but he'll have a bit of experience. He's raced for McLaren, he's been in F1 before, and he's cheaper than Giovinazzi. So Stoffel Van Dorn is my choice for my second driver. Although I am going to swap these, and Van Dorn's going to be my number 1 driver, and Vesti's going to be my number 2 driver. Now it's time to choose the rest of my staff. So after looking at all the options, I'm going to go for James Key for my technical chief. Most of the ones in the bottom 3 tiers will cost 2 mil a year, and looking at him, he's sort of the highest rated who I think would be realistic to be able to pull away from their team, because Sauber are pretty bad, so I feel like he wouldn't mind moving to another team. There's only 2 heads of error that are going to cost 2 mil a year. Everyone else is more expensive, so I'm going to go for Alessandro Cinelli. I don't really know how you'd say his name. Also from Sauber, so we're pulling another one away from them. Now we've got some sporting directors here who are worth 1 mil a year, but there's also quite a few worth 2 mil, and this guy is in F2 at the minute, so I think he'd jump at the chance to work in F1. So I'm going to go for Aurélien Pallier. Definitely butchered that. Now for my race engineers, I don't think it'd be realistic to pull one away for another F1 team at this stage, so Pau Rivera is going to be one of them from F2. And then Paolo Angelea, I don't know how you'd say his name either, it's going to be my second race engineer. So now I've selected my drivers and all my staff, it's time for the next step. So looking at all these engines, I think I'm going to go for Mercedes, because they have by far and away the best reliability of all of these. They are third on power, but they're not that far behind Ferrari and Red Bull, and Renault are 10 behind that, so Renault aren't even an option. Really good fuel efficiency, but everything else is awful. Then just the reliability of Red Bull and Ferrari. Oh, sorry, Honda Red Bull powertrains, not Red Bull. Their reliability is both pretty poor. Mercedes has poor fuel efficiency, but I think the extra durability is really going to help me over the season. I'll probably incur less grid penalties, so while other teams are getting grid penalties moving further back, might give me a chance to jump further forward a little bit, maybe nick a point or 2 here or there, if I can. Now it's time for the fun part, creating my car livery. So this is the livery I'm going with. It's the same colours as the Tango Ice Blast, and it started as a joke between me and my friend on Pro Clubs that we'd just make a kit this colour, and it'd be the same colour as Tango Ice Blast. And that is the colour I use for anything ever since. It's the colour I use for my cars in the F1 games, and it's the colour we still use our kit on Pro Clubs. So those are the colours I'm going with, the pink and the blue. And this is what I'm going for my race suit. I didn't really like the selection of suits, to be honest. So this is sort of the best of a bad bunch. And for the logo, I'm just going to go for a preset one because it's going to be so much effort to make one that I like. Well, this one looks cool, so I'm just going to go with this. And I've actually just changed the colours of it to match the colours of the team. So this is now my logo. And then finally, I put my guidance level on Experience Manager because I played the game before. I know what it's about. Then the career difficulty, I'm going to have car development on standard and the race difficulty on hard. So I don't really know what car development's going to be like. So I'll just keep that on standard for now. I might change it in the future. But I felt like in the last 2 years, standard difficulty for the race difficulty was way too easy to do really well on strategies with a bad car. It was really easy to set up a good strategy to beat your opponent. So gone for the race on hard. So hopefully it won't be so easy this year. But now everything's set up. Let's get into the Team HQ and let's start doing stuff. Oh, cool. Everyone's sad. And the first thing I'm going to do here is look at the quality of my car. It's basically the worst on the grid. Apart from tyre preservation and engine cooling, which are a little bit better. So I need to do some upgrades to everything. So I think the first thing I'm going to do an upgrade for is side pods. So I think I get the best spread of upgrades. Gets all the cornering speed upgrades and top speed and engine cooling. So I'm going to improve my side pods. And it's only 15 days to the next ATR period. And I've not got that much money anyway, so I can probably only afford one upgrade now. So I might literally put all my hours and all my work into creating these side pods so they'll be ready as soon as possible. And it really doesn't make much of a difference from what I started at. So I'm not actually going to put all my hours into just these side pods. Instead, I'm going to put 40 wind tunnel hours and 3.5 MFD hours. So just a couple of changes I'm going to make on the Focus. I've gone one up on airflow front because that balances these out a bit more. And then I've just taken the lifespan down one. I don't want to take it all the way because I don't have much money, so I can't just churn out parts. But it does give it a big increase. If you look at this, if I change that like that, it does give it a big increase in performance if I just take it down by one. Oh, and if I literally put all my engineers on it and make it rushed, still not going to be ready for Bahrain. So there's no point wasting money doing that. However, the race after that in Saudi is 18 days away. And if I do this, I can get it ready in 15. And that gives me time to develop the parts ready for the race in Saudi Arabia. So it's going to cost me a lot, but in a few days I should get my sponsor money. So I'm going to do this. I'm going all in to get these upgrades ready for Saudi Arabia. And now after I've done that, let's go forward a little bit to the sponsor negotiation. And these are my three options. Abeos, Abaus, another word I don't know how to pronounce. Technology company. They look like a good prospect. Ferro Energy. They don't look as appealing as Abeos because they give less up front and they're going to be more scrutinizing on my performance. Do get more money overall, but I mean, I'm not going to perform well this season, so that's putting me off a bit. And then Miram Coin, a cryptocurrency company, are giving me barely anything up front and they got moderate performance reliance. So I think Abeos give me the least overall, but less reliance on performance and everything, and they give me the most up front. So I think I'm going to go for them. So Abeos are my title sponsor. Now I've got 5 optional sponsors I can choose. And these do come with mandatory activities which have negative effects, but they all have low performance reliance, which is good. So there's 3 which have no negative effects. So I'm going to take all of them, Apterud, or however you say that, Farum Star, and Serpent. And then to be honest, looking at these, I might as well take them all actually, because this event only happens once a season, and this event only happens twice, and that's the most any of the events happen, because this only happens once as well. And I feel like this is the one I wanted to go for least because it's wind tunnel higher, and the wind tunnel's quite important, but I'm getting so much money off the engagement, so I'm going to go for them. Henrik Engineering, and then I'm selecting Arcor. I want to only get 5, I can't choose all 6. Okay, so I actually have to make a choice now between the last 3. And the performance reliance has actually all changed on all of them now. What? They were all low initially. Does it depend what order I select them in? So that's low, that's low, that's low, that's low. They're all low until the last one, and then they're all scrutinizing. Well, Raka Electrolyte Energy, they do have moderate on performance reliance, but they are offering me a lot more money than Arcor, so I'm going to choose these. And there's all my sponsors sorted. So I'm going to be getting pretty much 71 mil across the season from that. Oh, is that the total it takes it up to? So like adding them all together puts me at moderate now. If I go back to Arcor, I stay on low. So I'm actually going to take Arcor. I do lose a bit of money, but it keeps me on low performance reliance overall, so all the sponsors will stay happy. So I'm going to get about 67 million overall across the season. And now I can put my sponsors on my car. It looks like they've all already gone automatically, and I can't be bothered to waste time right now changing them. I'll probably do that later. Now I've got to set a 6-week sponsor plan to get this engagement money. I think I've just got to fill out these points. So these are the 4 activities I've selected to meet the target. So I feel like they'll be the least detrimental to me. And I've got 2 affiliate drivers. I don't know who these are, maybe youth drivers or something. Holger Winkler's apparently 21 years old, but he definitely looks older. I think I'm going to scout some drivers. So I've only sorted by drivers who are open to negotiation. They're all lower rated than my current drivers. So I've just sorted by age and gone to the youngest age group and then gone by overall rating and filtered from the highest rated to the lowest. I'm just going to scout the youngest, highest rated drivers. Okay, I only have 1 scout apparently. So now all I think there is to do is advance to the race weekend. Oh, I forgot I can design some more parts for my car. I've wasted a couple of days. Well, never mind. I didn't waste any days. I swear I had 10 engineers and there were none available, and only 6 were on that project. But now I am at the first race of the season in Bahrain here, and that's where I'm going to end this episode. So in this episode, we were just going through all the setup and everything to get us ready for the first race of the season, and that will be in episode 2. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you want to carry on watching this series, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.